Endaro Mahanubhavulu, Arya Vysya Ani Mutyalu. Interviewing one of the rarest personalities in our Arya Vysya community, Shri Komarla Ganga Setty, Subbarama Setty. Thanks to you, sir, for giving us the privilege of conducting this interview with you. Thank you. When Akhilesh sent me the biodata, first time ever I have read your full biodata, I remembered one quote by John Maxwell, who is a celebrated world #1 on success and leadership. He says, any leadership is a delectable dish, and the most important 10 ingredients being character, charisma, commitment, competence, focus, generosity, passion, relationship, responsibility, and most importantly, self-discipline. Sir, I claim to know you from last 60 years. But after seeing your biodata, sir, it is amazing. You have not left any stone unturned, and you have touched upon each activity in life, and you have not wasted even 1 hour. You have made use of each hour that the God has given us, and you have made a good use of it. What is surprising is, although you are a bachelor of textiles, you have gone into floor milling industry, and not only floor milling industry, and whatever domain you have touched upon, you made a success of it. Sir, you have got a Midas touch. What is amazing is your health. Even at this ripe age of 90 years, your age, your health is something right to home about, and that is because of the early care you took about your body and health, especially under Navajivana Vayamshala. Coming to the different facts of your life, the most important I feel is education. Sir, you have been an active participant in most of the premier educational institutions like Vasavi Vidyaniketan, Vasavi Educational Trust, then Bharatiya Shikshana Mandali, Acharya Pathshala, and Rashtriya Shikshana Mandali, and others. When education comes to my mind, there has now educational reforms from last 34 years. Thanks to Modi, he ventured into change this decade-old education system, and he came out with what is the new educational policy of 2020, which the government claims it is going to be the transformation for the students who come under that scheme. So the question is, what is your opinion about the new educational policy?
My feeling regarding this educational policy, whatever that was being followed all these years, is the one which was going on from the day of independence till date, and that is only a thing which has been made by the Britishers, and that is being conducted. There is no possibility of your improving your commitment to your nationality or to your community or to the people of our country. And it has not opened up any views for the people who have been educated, and they just follow the same thing. But the present policy announced by the Prime Minister is something like different, which will give us at different ages, at different stages, people can live on themselves without depending upon 100% of education.
Yeah.
I think they have, though I have read it only in the newspapers, but more details I may not know. But the question is, from the beginning, if you go up to some particular standard, even if you leave that job, leave the education, you can find out some job on that type of education what you have received. The next stage is another stage wherein you have one more chance of becoming something different. And the final stage is that as a graduate, you can you utilize your capacities for any of these things. So there are 3 stages that have been mentioned. Though I have not read the entire policy book or something like that, what I have read from the newspapers, this is the inference I have got it.
Beautiful, sir. Correct. The new education policy of 2020 stresses more on the passion, the like, the interest of the student than what it used to be. It used to turn students into bookworms.
Correct.
But now it is not so, because at an early stage in life, early stage in educational life, the system makes you to understand what is your passion, what is your interest, and it gives you a path of education so that you can put your endeavors and go in that field of education. Sir, you have rightly said that it is going to transform the students. Thank you, sir. I fully appreciate your answer. Coming to trade bodies, you have been in number of trade bodies like Chamber of Commerce and many other organizations, and relying on what the changes that is happening in our country, India, you think that your experience in having worked in so many organizations, what does your experience say that there is a transformation of the thinking of the people in the business and industry? What is your opinion, sir?
Each trade has got its own difficulties and advantages of each trade. But fortunately or unfortunately, any individual trader cannot be going against the policies of the government, though it may be useful or may not be useful. Therefore, the trade policy has to be kept before the government, giving out the advantages and disadvantages for the business people, and not only to the business people but to the general public who are going to utilize the business also. So individually it may be difficult to place it. So as an organization, if you take up the opinion of all the people, and when it looks into that policy matter, they can be easily comment on that, because the organization is always gives the opinion of the entire industry or entire business community. So therefore they can engage and place it before the government. Otherwise, any individual, if you take up the subject, probably government may feel that he is pinpoint that person, and maybe sometimes it will be not good enough for the individuals. So as a trade body, always it is good, so that we can place it the difficulties of the public, of the industries or even business people also. That's why it is more like a something like a joining between the government and the business people. And it is not one type of business. There are hundreds of types of businesses, industries. So individually it is difficult for them. Even though they find difficult, it goes through the chamber, it has got its own weightage. So that weightage will be impressed upon the government. I think presently, of course, my presidency was nearly 45 years ago. At that time, there may not be that much of difficulties. As time goes on, difficulties problems, news, and all these things increases. So at this time it is very, very essential to have the Chamber of Commerce as a connecting between business and the government.
Compared to the previous governments and the present Modi government, and as a Katta Karyakarta of RSS, what do you feel that what Modi is doing, especially in terms of women empowerment and small scale industries? What is your opinion, sir?
All these years before Modi government, the people were, the government, the earlier governments were following just the procedures that was being done by British people. So when this Modi came to power, as you all know, he is not a person with any special interest for making money or anything like that. His main intention is to serve the nation, serve the public, and improve the image of our country in the entire world. Of course, he has done it excellently well, and therefore we can say at one time Modi was not allowed to go to US, no visa was given. But now with folded hands they request him to come and also ask them to address the people, and he has become number one in the entire world as a leader of the leaders. So that's how the Modi government is, without any attachment for his own self, a person who doesn't have any ambition to own for himself, without having any differentiation with any community. He is doing his job so nicely. So therefore this is a thing that has been improved the image of our country in the entire world.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you have been a Rotarian, and of course I am a Rotarian from Rotary Club of Bangalore, and your experience in Rotary is of several decades. Rotary is a service organization. Do you feel the service organizations, not only in India, even abroad also, the sort of role they are playing, is it commensurate with the change of thinking on the part of the government? What is your opinion
on the
part of the government?
I think Rotary, when we compare to US or any other place, any foreign countries in our country, I feel there is a lot of difference, because I have 100% Rotarian as long I was in Rotary. Now I have resigned because of all other various activities. I have attended 3 international conferences in the world, and then I have attended, whenever I was in US, 100% I was attending the Rotary clubs in US. What I feel is, in those countries they have got plenty of money. It's something like just they want to give some charity, they just give it away, that's all. There is no commitment as in India that they should serve the community. It's only by giving away the money they feel it is over. And you see, when they start at 12:30 in the afternoon lunch meeting, the speaker will be talking, the president will be keeping quiet, but these people with a hurry, they want to take the lunch and go. So that is the type of thinking, because I was seen there. But in India, they have taken the spirit of Rotary as service, and they are doing a good service all through the districts in India. So that's how the Rotary movement in India is doing a very good job. For example, right now I am connected with other organization, on Magdi Road, on Dodbapur Road, People's Trust. There the Rotary people have taken some initiative to do some service works. So they are so much involved, the people of the Rotary, they are involved wherein that in the People's Trust. They visit villages, they try to give whatever that is possible for the requirements, education, and all these things. That's how the service in India, which they need for the public, is being covered by the Rotary in India. That's how I feel Rotary is doing a good job. But since I am now busy in so many other organizations, since the last about few years, I have resigned from those because my term is long back. And then I was the 10th president of Rotary Club of Bangalore South, the 10th year. In those times, we have done some work in the mental hospital and some work in near for education. All these things, a lot of work has been done at that time.
Thank you, sir. Sir, coming back to our own community, Arya Vysya community is still a small community. Being basically a trading community, but we have come very far compared to what the community was about 20-30 years back and what it is now. And there is, because the joint family system has become a nuclear family now. Each family has got only 1 or 2 children, and there is a total transformation. The way in which our Arya Vysya youth are going into. Under these circumstances, sure, there will be both pluses and minuses in the way the community is going forward. What is your opinion, sir? What is the message you would like to give it to the community at large and youth in particular? What do you feel? What is your suggestion? What is your advice, sir?
My thinking is, our community in the earlier days or earlier years was just confined only to business, nothing more than that. But now, our youth, they have taken different types of education and they are venturing into new types of businesses, industries and other things. We are, by intelligence, we are no less than any other community, and by the experience of their previous parents and their business and their family, they can step into any business and they can do it. That's how it is not just only business, but it is all types of industries, all types of businesses. Whatever various, and they use their mental imagination, and they get into so many new ventures. So that has given us a good impetus for us to go forward. And I feel that many more people, our community people are going to take up new ventures which will help the industry, which will help the community, which will help the economic situation of our country.
Okay, so what is your particular advice to young people, sir?
Young people. Yeah. Young means there is not just only by age. Young means by heart, by imagination, and then work to do. Age is only a factor, but thinking and make to do work for that there is no question. For example, I am now 80, but then only in the last 10 months or 11 months, I am having some disadvantages of this corona, this and that. Till that time, where I tell you, we are also aware that I was interested in so many organizations, in so many ways of doing it. In spite of my having this business, not only in Bangalore or Karnataka, even in Goa, even in Maharashtra and all places, I was devoting a lot of time. Of course, to some extent, my responsibility I had given it to my son and my grandson, so I could spare more time for these activities. Like that, of course, the age is not the criteria, it is the will that you should do is the criteria.
Yeah, coming, see, one likes it or not, the so-called traditional businesses which the community was in say for example jewelry or kirana or textiles, and there is no future, sir. There is no future. You have any suggestion for those who are still in traditional business, how to go about it in future, sir?
That's a very tough question to answer, because the business may be parent, maybe getting from 3 generations or 2 generations or this generation. If the feeling that they should start a new venture, if that person has got that type of feeling, then they can go ahead. In my own family, my grandson, he has got that type of work. Though we were doing only business and earlier, and we have got some rental income and this and that, but now he is entering into so many other business. But I feel why you should take so much of workload of the new century. But his thing is in the interest of our country, in the interest of our the new type of business, I would like to venture into that. Of course, money is not the criteria. It is the thinking about the younger generation, what they should do. In these circumstances, for the present existing situations, they should go in for new things. That's what he is doing. I am so happy about it.
Yeah, sir, that is happening because of the sort of liberty and freedom our generation has given to the younger generation. Otherwise, there cannot be any change. So the last question is, although we belong to almost the same age, I still wonder what is the time management you have adopted in getting into so many activities, sir, because your advice in the sort of time management you have achieved, if you can give us the secret of your time management, it will be very helpful to the younger generation of the community. What is the secret of your time management, sir?
It's a very tough question. You see, normally, of course, now in the last 10 months is a little bit different, but otherwise, I was spending almost 18 hours for any of the duty in the day for work, and only 6 hours I was taking a sleep, and regularly I was attending, and my discipline is so well done that time management has been done right from the beginning to the end. Even now, of course, in the morning, if I get up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, how much time I take, if to the minute to minute, I will just it comes out, and I will be ready by your time. Even sometimes my people ask me, we have to got a program, we will have to go there. Then I said, how much time, at what time you are going? So we are calculating that one, I will get ready between the beginning time and the time there. So that I don't lose whatever the activities I have to do, and be ready for the time for them to go take with the program. So like that, we will have to plan out the earlier itself, and that basis I am going forward. And then regarding all the programs I am attending, whenever I go there, whenever I go to any program of wherever I am connected, I just don't go there as a lame person just to raise my hand or just keep quiet or just nod my hand. But I always go prepared, read the whole thing, what are my comments, what I should do, talk, or what I should question, or something like that. All these things gives a background, my thinking about any work, and that's how whenever I go to, for example, any of the meetings, especially to Rakshtigh Shikshan Samiti Trust, the minutes are read out or whatever, the president questions me only, Subbarama Setty, shall I take it as a read? Then only I said, okay sir, otherwise these are the points that I got clarifications. So this will help me, so keep my mind always sharp, and then go ahead with the things.
So that means the moral of the story is, you should be disciplined, and you should be planned, and even planning even on your day-to-day life can make you achieve something in life, sir. Sir, that's it. We had a wonderful session, and thank you very much once again on behalf of Unique 360, and it has been a wonderful experience. Thank you, sir, for giving us the privilege. Thank you. Sir, after having come to your office, we have seen so many awards, and you have been honored by almost every organization which you have worked. Which is the most award, most benefiting award which has changed your thinking of life? Which is that award, sir?
It is a very difficult question to answer because there is no question of my liking of any of those things. As a service-minded person right from the beginning, I do service, not expecting anything. So if they recognize, I receive. If they don't recognize, I don't mind. That is not the main important for that. Even this Kempegowda award, that is there. I mean, I did not even ask or the question or whatever it is. But then they invited me, then only I accepted it. So as a matter of fact, the photos that was taken there, I don't even have a photo of the award that was being given. So I am not enamored with any of these awards. My thinking is you must serve the society in whatever capacity it is possible. That is the only thing, my motto. Sometimes from Delhi also I get some the letters that you are going to be awarded this and please accept it, and I said I don't want any of these awards.
Okay, sir, you are one of the few persons who has been very active in Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, RSS. How it has influenced your life, number one, and what is a role model you always wanted to exemplify in your life, sir?
Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh is being started by Dr. Hedgewar, and then he was in the beginning he was in Congress, he was in the freedom movement and all the things. Those are all things which were there only for spontaneously you get it and then forget about it. But what the Dr. Hedgewar thought was you must have a system where from the childhood you must bring their mind, body and soul towards the nation building and other things. So that's how he started in 1925, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. And then he was not enamored with what is going on elsewhere. He had been the member of Congress, he was being member of so many other organizations. But leaving all those things, he has started this Swayamsevak or Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh and then molding their future about it. In Karnataka, when the first branch was started here, the first branch was in Malleshwaram and then the second branch was in Visheshwarapuram. I was a member of the Visheshwaram branch from that age. I was still in the high school stage. I was playing, that's how when we play together, all those things, all people will feel that they are all one with them. And then after that, we have got prayer. And sometimes we will have some lecture, something like a advice for whatever it is possible to do for the nation. So that's how from the younger age you bring up their mentality, their mind, soul, everything as a commitment to the country's welfare and then the community's welfare. These are the things that gives up pride from me. So though it was started in those days and now it is almost 95 years or something like that, or something like that. But then right now, it is throughout the country we have got thousands of branches, and people from this organization with the mind of that, they go to some other organization or they start a new organization. Something like our Prime Minister, who is also a member of the RSS right from the beginning, but he is coming, his mind is towards the improvement of the country's population, improvement of the country on a whole thing. So that's how now the organizations which has come up from the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh is almost 150 organizations working in various fields. For example, as you said, Janaseva Vidya Kendra, though it's an education institution, it has been a part and parcel of the mind of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh coming over there. Bharatiya Shikshana Mandal, where I was a first president of Teachers Association, that is also a part and parcel of the offshoot of this mentality or the mind of serving the teachers community, education society. Just like that, in all fields, whichever field you are taking now, there are people who are behind it are the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh persons who have been trained, so that people who are not in touch with the national mentality, they attract them, they make them feel that towards the country's progress, for country's interest, and for the people's purpose. That's how the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh is working.
Sir, thank you very much. We had a wonderful session. It is a learning for us also. It was an education for us. Thank you very much. On behalf of Unique 360, we thank you profusely and we feel blessed and obliged. Thank you, sir.
I hope that whatever that is expected of me in your conversation or question and answers, I have been you have fully convinced about my thinking.
Absolutely, sir. You have given us more than our asking.
Thank you.
We are blessed, sir.
Thank you. Your organization doing a very good job. It is something like Endaro Mahanubhavulu, pearls of
Arya Vysya.
Arya Vysyas అనేది ఉంది. ఆ మాదిరి మీరు అందరినీ ఆ మాదిరి చేర్చుకుంటూ ఉండారు. We are very happy that you are conducting a good number of pearls of Arya Vysyas in this organization. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.